Protoss, representing Incredible Miracle and Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for first! And up to the top right, the Tyrant himself, representing Korea and Evil Geniuses. Give it up for Jaedong!
Jaedong looking ever so focused. You can see from his reactions upon winning games, the fist pump he does every single time. This means so much to him.
Yeah, it really does. The second place time and time again in this matchup, in his StarCraft2 career, has meant that he can't take it anymore. He wants that championship. You can see it in his eyes every single time. As you rightly said, he has that killer instinct, that stone cold look. Focus is absolutely essential, and Jaedong has plenty of it.
First, he's going to be opening the exact same way as he did in previous game here. Maybe not as a Forge as early as he did in the first game, but with the pylon down the ramp and possibly a Forge expand. Jaedong, having been scouted immediately by a probe, he has to go for the pull first. This is very standard so far. And first, I feel like he wanted to go into a safe style in the first game, just play standard safe, but maybe a little bit too safe, and Jaedong just punished him. He read into it right from the start, and I like this, by the way, sending it 2 drones.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is going to be very hard for the probe to block for too long, and this might be a good enough incentive to throw down a pylon for first, but since he went for the Nexus first, he would actually get his Forge very late if he did. A nice block, oh my god, I can't believe he did that for so long against 2 drones. This is so hard to do.
Yeah, that was very, very impressive control there by first. But I've got to ask you, Todd, now, going into game number 2, a map like Neoplanet S, do you think we're going to see a similar strategy from Jaedong from game number 1, or do you think he changes it up a bit?
I mean, the first game was such a smackdown. I mean, I don't see any other way to say it. And Jaedong, like I said, he can play any style that he wants to. So as much as he could use the same style as he used in the first game, he could just go for something completely different here, like Roach, Hydra, Viper, make it work on this map. He's very capable of that.
And this probe just hiding away here whilst the third base does go down. He's actually going home by the looks of things with that probe, but turning around and trying to find another way in. Very, very important. Just keeping this probe as hidden as possible.
Yeah, this is weird, by the way, this spot. Like, it's kind of like hiding in plain sight. Okay, he was just trying to hide from the Zerglings, clearing the probe, all the pylons on the map. And he's going to be able to confirm the third quite easily.
And the cannon does finish as well, so those Zerglings cannot get in. So very, very content with the position that he finds himself in his first right now, as is Jaedong, just droning up where he can. And again, this map plays out very, very differently to Whirlwind. So I would personally like to see Jaedong kind of change things up from map number 1 and keep first really, really on his toes. Because if you know a style like that's coming from a Zerg, it's not super easy to deal with, but you know how to try and deal with it, right? So I would love to see something different.
This was a very weird first game by first. I mean, remember all the chrono boost that he has saved up on his Nexus? Yes. He's not doing that this game. He's spending his chrono boost pretty well. He's got 2 available right now. We should be seeing probes being chrono boosted as soon as his pylon finishes, but actually he forgot his pylon. He's on 33 out of 36. You're supposed to make your pylon, I think, a little bit earlier if you want to be able to chrono boost probes continuously. He's going to be getting a Zealot very soon, and he has to be careful. Okay, he goes for the Stargate again. And first, he has to make a pylon just above his gateway so that he can warp in Zealots if he's about to be run by Zerglings. Because right now, you see the pylon down this building. He can't warp just above the gateway to wall off.
So it would always have to move into position after the warp, and that's time that you cannot afford if a player like Jaedong wants to just go for a crazy run by. But behind this, we have the double gases being taken from Jaedong. He's been completely mineral focused up until this point, which is, you know, pretty darn normal here. But Jaedong's the kind of guy that really doesn't mind too much about skipping the Roach Warren at a normal time. So it looks like that we may end up seeing that again here.
Yeah, I guess he's very focused on taking down potential pylons on the map. He's got overlords everywhere. So if you can deny that very well, you don't actually need a Roach Warren.
Exactly.
You can just have Zerglings. And especially if you go for the double evolution chamber, which he has not yet so far made in this game. So that's interesting. In the previous game, he went for it kind of late. I think it was before the 8th minute. But a very fast one. I guess Is this going to be spotted?
It certainly is, and in response, we actually do have Jaedong going for a bit more of a similarly timed Roach Warren here. So calling my bluff and adding on one Evolution Chamber thus far, along with the layer as well. So we could see definitely a very, very different game from game number 1.
What we saw before from lots of Zergs was double Evolution Chamber on 2 bases, and then a later third. A lot of the time. So the double Evolution Chamber will come down at like 6 minutes or something very, very quick.
Yeah.
But Jaedong in the previous game, he made it kind of late, but still went for it. And I think first was really expecting a Roach Hydra because of he just saw one Evo, remember, and it was kind of late. But this time he's going to see the Roach Warren, he's going to see the Evolution Chamber upgrading, and the +1 Zerg missile attacks is already on the way. Do you think we could see some Swarm Host here?
We could eventually. I mean, Jaedong has shown movements like that in the past that have worked very well. He did it versus Nani.
Double Macro Hatch. One in the main, one in the third.
Ooh.
Okay, since there is such a huge space around the natural of first, and you can attack from 2 sides as a Zerg, Jaedong could go for lots of Roaches, possibly some Hydralisks in support, and just try to keep on going for flanks, to never let first take a third base, just like in the previous game, just in a different way, with Roaches this time instead of full Zergling. If he goes for that and first is not ready, first does not see it coming, it's going to be very hard for him to hold it. If you mess up the first attack, you basically pretty much lost. It's going to be almost impossible to come back. And first, he's throwing down a lot of gateways. He went for few Phoenixes. Behind this, he's getting Immortals. Well, he got 1 Immortal and he's getting Colossus. He could be hitting a timing behind this. Look, he's got Probe. 19 and 16 on his bases. So I think we might have a 2-base timing here maybe by first, possibly.
Well, regardless of defense or aggression here from first, he's going to need that production because Jaedong behind this, he has a hell of a lot of production with those 2 extra macro hatches that are about to finish up. That lava's going to spike up very, very quickly, very soon. And he's hiding the Roaches.
This is so smart. The Phoenixes, they are on the map picking off an Overseer now. They are trying to kill some Overlords as well. Jaedong, he has perfect vision of the third bases of first. He knows that there is no third base just yet. He's trying to do a scout in front of the wall of first. About the upgrades, I think he saw there was +1 and the 4 still not upgrading. So that's a big tell as well, because if first will go for +2 or blink, you know, like there will be less chance he's committing to a huge attack.
But this is going to hit soon, and because Clear Reconstitution is finished, all of those Roaches are going to get over there very, very quickly, and so much reinforcement potential. Those creep tumors focus down that path just to be able to reinforce a little quicker.
Usually I would say full Roach is not enough against this, but I mean, this is Jaedong. He's got 27 Roaches already. 90 army supply against 54, and now first he's moving out. Jaedong is going to need the perfect flank. And first he's going to need perfect force fields. And look at Jaedong, he's preparing some Roaches for a flank from behind. He's going to have to wait until first engages into him. Maybe bait some force fields will be great as well.
First still doesn't know too much about this. Jaedong is going to have 40 Roaches very soon, and they're going to come in from either side. He has 40 Roaches now. He sees a few, but not too many. The Roaches are preparing at the back here. First could be walking into a huge trap. Does he have the Mothership?
Yeah, the reinforcements actually with some sentries might walk into those Roaches.
Or he doesn't have his Mothership Core recall, and the Roaches go forward. They're going to bring down one of the Colossus. The second one's going to go down as well. He uses the energy on Time Warp. He cannot recall from this position. And First's army absolutely gets disintegrated here. The big, big units that he required doesn't have any more force fields left. Roach is still moving forwards. Can these Stalkers hold it? I don't think so. So many units still in production for Jaedong.
38 Zerglings, 40 Zerglings, 1 more Roach, and all the Zealots fall. Those Phoenixes don't do much. They just lift up a few Roaches, and first he's losing everything. This has to be it.
He just didn't know.